Life in old Hollywood looked like pure magic, glitz, glamour, iconic stars, and timeless films. But behind the silver screen lay a world filled with hidden pain, power games, and deeply disturbing truths that the studios worked hard to keep secret. What if some of the most beloved actors and actresses of the Golden Age were hiding things that could have destroyed their careers, or worse? From dangerous backstage feuds and emotional breakdowns to shocking relationship secrets and manipulation by powerful figures, these stories paint a much darker picture of the so-called Golden Era. Even the biggest names were often trapped in systems of silence, fear, and exploitation. Stick around as we uncover 10 chilling secrets from classic Hollywood's most celebrated icons. The truth may just change how you see your favorite stars forever. Number 1. Chaplin's Dark Secret. Even legends have shadows that fame cannot hide. Charlie Chaplin, the genius behind The Kid and Modern Times, brought joy to millions with his bowler hat, cane, and silent-era comedy. But away from the screen, Chaplin's love life drew serious controversy. At 29, he married Mildred Harris, who was only 16. Later, he began a relationship with 15-year-old Lita Gray, who became pregnant at 16, leading to a secret wedding and a bitter, public divorce filled with accusations of infidelity and control. Chaplin rarely addressed these scandals directly. Despite public criticism, he continued to thrive in Hollywood, protected by his fame and the power of the studios. These relationships, seen by some as romance and by others as exploitation, left a permanent mark on his reputation. In later years, Chaplin married 18-year-old Una O'Neill when he was 54, a union that lasted until his death. Charlie Chaplin remains a symbol of comedic brilliance, but his personal life reminds us that even those who make the world laugh can have stories that cast a long and troubling shadow. Number 2. Crawford's Painful Beauty Secret. Beauty in Hollywood often came with a price few were willing to pay. Joan Crawford, the glamorous star with regal cheekbones and fierce eyes, seemed the definition of screen perfection. But in her 20s, she made a shocking choice, having several back molars removed so her cheekbones would appear higher and sharper. Crawford never publicly dwelled on this sacrifice, but those who knew her understood it was part of her relentless pursuit of stardom. The change worked, giving her one of the most striking faces in Hollywood. It also revealed the ruthless beauty standards of the time, where physical alteration was seen as a requirement, not a choice. Her obsession with image extended into her personal life, later fueling the explosive memoir Mommy Dearest by her daughter Christina, a portrait of perfectionism and control. Joan Crawford remains a Hollywood icon, but her story reminds us that behind every flawless photograph may lie sacrifices too great to see. Number 3. Rita Moreno's heartbreak with Brando. Even the brightest stars can be dimmed by love's shadow. In the 1950s film Desiree, rising star Rita Moreno met Marlon Brando, the brilliant and unpredictable actor who would change her life. Their romance was intense but turbulent. Brando's charm was matched by his infidelity and emotional manipulation. The deepest wound came when Moreno became pregnant with his child, only for Brando to pressure her into ending the pregnancy, a choice that left her devastated. She later spoke openly about the betrayal, revealing the years of heartbreak she endured. Yet Moreno rose beyond the pain, becoming one of the few EGOT winners in history and a voice for women who had suffered in silence. Her story is a testament to resilience, proving that even in Hollywood, strength can outshine the brightest spotlight. Number 4. Judy Lewis, Hollywood's best-kept secret. In old Hollywood, image wasn't just important, it was survival. During the 1935 filming of Call of the Wild, Loretta Young and Clark Gable had a relationship that resulted in a pregnancy. While Gable was married to someone else and Young was a devout, unmarried Catholic actress. To avoid scandal, Young disappeared until the baby was born, placed her in an orphanage, then later adopted her own child, Judy Lewis, in a staged act of generosity. Gable never publicly admitted paternity, though he reportedly gave quiet financial support and occasional visits. Decades later, Lewis discovered the truth, learning her mother had hidden it not just from the public, but from her too. The revelation added a darker shadow when later accounts suggested Young may not have fully consented during her encounter with Gable. It remains one of Hollywood's most haunting secrets, showing the lengths the industry would go to protect its stars, even at the cost of a child's truth. Number 5. Shirley Temple, The Day the Music Almost Stopped. Fame may look magical, but for child stars, it can carry real danger. In the 1930s, during the peak of Shirley Temple's fame, a grieving woman convinced herself that Temple was the reincarnation of her late daughter. The woman showed up at one of Temple's live performances armed with a gun, intent on confronting her. Security intervened just in time, preventing a tragedy. The incident was a chilling reminder that even America's sweetheart wasn't safe from the darker side of public obsession. Temple's childhood was already far from normal. Long hours on set, strict control by adults, and constant public scrutiny left her with little time for a real childhood. As she grew, Hollywood's interest faded, but she found new purpose as a U.S. ambassador and public servant. Her near-death experience remains one of the most shocking behind-the-scenes moments in showbiz history, proof that even the brightest spotlight can cast deep shadows. Number 6. Montgomery Clift, the night everything changed. One moment can rewrite a life, and in Hollywood, it can end a career. In 1956, after leaving a dinner party at Elizabeth Taylor's home, Montgomery Clift crashed his car into a telephone pole. The accident left his face shattered, several teeth knocked out, and required hours of reconstructive surgery. Though doctors repaired much of the damage, his once boyish looks were never the same, and the emotional scars ran even deeper. Plagued by pain and trauma, Clift turned to alcohol and painkillers, which slowly consumed his health and career. His post-crash performances, like in Judgment at Nuremberg, carried a raw, haunting quality, reflecting the struggles he faced off-screen. Clift's story became a cautionary tale of how a single night can forever alter both a life and a legacy. Number 7. Stan Laurel, the smile that hid the storm. Laughter can hide a lot, even darkness. Stan Laurel, the skinny one of Laurel and Hardy, made millions laugh with slapstick charm and wide-eyed innocence. But in real life, he battled alcoholism, volatile moods, and accusations that shocked even Hollywood insiders. During his rocky marriage to Vera Ivanova Shuvalova, she claimed he once dug a shallow grave in their yard during a drunken rage and threatened to bury her alive. She also alleged he pointed a gun at her. Though never proven in court, the stories fed a reputation for unpredictability and emotional instability. Alcohol, financial troubles, and failed relationships followed him for years, even as he kept performing and remained a comedy icon. Laurel's legacy is a sobering reminder that the man who made the world laugh was fighting his own private tragedy behind the curtain. Number 8. John Huston, the fatal night Hollywood buried. In old Hollywood, some stories were too dangerous to tell. In 1933, before directing The Maltese Falcon, John Huston was involved in a late-night car accident that killed young actress Tula Roulon. After a night of drinking, Huston's car struck her. She died instantly. A coroner's inquest cleared him, ruling it an accident, and no charges followed. But whispers began almost immediately. Some claimed Huston wasn't the driver at all, and that he might have taken the blame for a more powerful figure, possibly Clark Gable. Huston never confirmed or denied the rumors, but those close to him said the guilt weighed heavily for the rest of his life. The tragedy vanished from headlines, leaving no tributes for Roulon and no public reckoning for the industry. It stands as a chilling reminder of how easily Hollywood could erase even the most devastating truths when power and reputation were at stake. Number 9. Marilyn Monroe, the voice born from childhood pain. Some voices charm the world, yet are shaped by heartbreak. Marilyn Monroe, born Norma Jean Mortensen, spent her early years in foster homes and orphanages, her mother too ill to care for her and her father absent. The instability left her with a childhood stutter, a speech pattern that would later transform into her breathy, whispered tone, an accidental hallmark of her on-screen persona. Though she trained to control it, the trace of that stutter carried the weight of her early fear and uncertainty. Behind the glamour, Monroe wrestled with depression, anxiety, and a deep longing for stability, while studios tightly controlled her public image. In her last years, isolation and dependence on medication overshadowed her fame, and she died at only 36. Her story shows how a single voice can carry the echoes of a lifetime's pain, even when it's dressed in the beauty and brightness of stardom. Number 10. Alfred Hitchcock, obsession behind the camera. Sometimes, the real horror happens when the cameras stop rolling. In 1963, during the making of The Birds, legendary director Alfred Hitchcock became fixated on his leading actress, Tippi Hedren. What began as professional mentorship turned into isolation, unwanted advances, and disturbing control over her life on set. In one notorious scene, Hedren expected mechanical birds but was instead attacked with live ones for 5 days, leaving her bruised and traumatized. When she resisted his control, Hitchcock allegedly used his influence to stall her career, blocking her from major roles despite her talent. The incident revealed how power in Hollywood could be weaponized against those who refused to comply. Hedren's story stands as a chilling reminder that the master of suspense could create terror not just on the screen, but behind it.